Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yay. He's got the joy of the Lord today.
Ah, yes. I'm excited. Hopefully. All right. First, I want to thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey. As always, I appreciate all the time you guys given me to come and share with you. You've been part of my journey, and I've been part of your journey this year. So hopefully next year we'll continue. And I want to thank you for the opportunity here. What I've come to learn is some of the things I share are the things, some of them is something I've learned already, and some of them is like the journey I'm still discovering as I'm sharing with you. So it's not like I know everything. So I'm share and I learn from it as well. So in a way, you guys are so blessing me, as I'm also blessing you guys. So I thank you for that. Quick announcement. Next year, July, I'm planning a mission trip to Romania for 10 to 12 days. So it's open for whoever that want to come with us, want to come with me. So that'll be amazing. So we go.
Get a passport now.
So our trip, the trip we do is that we go through. We work with the Roman Gypsy people. So it's not a glamorous trip. It's not like we don't do street evangelism. It's more like we'll go. There'll be a youth camp for 3 days. We'll be there for 3 days with the youth. We're there this summer. I'll be there. So we're there we're going to be there for 3 days from the 3rd of July to the 7th of July. And then we're going to go to another city called Pitești. So there's like a summer school. So we're going to be there with them as well for a couple of days. And I've got a friend that's also involved in ministry in another city. So we're going to go there, spend on there for 3 days, and then we'll fly back. So if you want to be part of the trip, message me your number, and then I can add it to a group so it can give you up to date with the plans and the cost. It won't cost $1 million. So at least
just 2 million.
So I think the budget for the trip are looking between £250 and £350, including flights and accommodation. So that's the budget. So the food are cheap. With £100, you can survive for the entire trip and come back. So yeah.
Is it camping?
No, it's not camping. No, it's not tent. There's a hotel accommodation. There's accommodation. For the youth camp, they have a hotel. That's like an Airbnb that we're going to stay there for 3 days. So they house us there for 3 days. And then for that place, we're going to get a hotel or get an Airbnb, find something there so we can stay. For everybody has their own space. It won't be ideal to cramp everybody in one room. And the people are different. Some of us will sleep with silence. Some of us sing some songs in the night when we're sleeping that the noise disturbs other people. So yeah, I know. So yeah, so if you want a part of the trip, so just talk to me and then I can give you more details as we go along. So yeah, this evening I'm going to share, because I'm doing a series at the moment I've titled Home Sweet Home. It's one of those things that when you think of going home, it's always exciting. I know somebody is smiling from cheek to cheek because she's thinking about going home to the parents and then to that. So yeah, I was in Ghana, and for me it's like, no matter where I find myself, when it comes to going home, I'm always excited. It's not because my home is that lush or that everything is there. It's just there's that comfort that you feel when you go home. There's that sense of peace and joy because you know you're going to your own space. And you're not gonna tiptoe around. No matter how comfortable you are in another man's house, it's not your place. No matter how they make you feel welcome, it's not your place. There's that element of you're still a stranger, you're still a visitor there. But when you come to your own home, no matter how tiny it is, it's your own space. You feel more. For me, I relax more. I always look forward to it, and plus coming back home to the wife as well. So it's like, yeah, let's go home. So it's good. So it's Home Sweet Home is what I titled it, and we're going to try to connect it to our home with the Lord as well. So there are things that should be present in the home. there are things we experience in home that in God as well. Even if your natural home does not reflect those things, in God we have those things. And last time I was here, we looked at the seed, and we said that the seed represent uniqueness, represent wholeness, and also represent a life lived in isolation, because a seed is just for itself, but when a seed is planted and it grows, the fruit is for everyone. So tonight we're going to go, it's not seed, but it's home sweet home. And one of the first things I want to talk about is peace. No matter how disaster your home is, there's peace in it. There's that peace of mind. There's that peace that comes because you're safe in your own house. That once you come in and your door is shut, no matter how even the kids might be making noise and throwing things up and kind of turning the house upside down, but there's that peace we have in us that nothing can take away compared to when you're in a stranger's house. Because when you're in somebody's house, although they make you say relax, be welcomed, you know you're not at peace to an extent, because you're trying to be careful not to offend somebody. You're trying to tiptoe your way around it because it's not your home. So you have peace, but it's not like the peace compared to when you go to your own house. So one is peace. So peace should be present in a house. And with the children, when a home that's full of peace, it's a different kind of dynamics. I believe that's why Proverbs said that it's better to dwell on the rooftop with a wife that's peaceful than to live in a mansion with a brawling partner. I'm sure that's why the Bible said it. So when a house is full of peace, everything settles. Everything makes sense. You're more relaxed. Another thing about home is security. So when you're secured in your house, so I'm going to look at security in two ways. Security is secured in love, and also be secured in identity. When the children are secured in their parents' love, they are able to go out and win. But when they are not secured in the love of the parent, in the love of our home, there's outside they will get love, but not the true love. Husband and wife, they need to be secured in each other's love. But if there's no security in marriage, then that leads to people when they go outside to do different things outside because they were trying to find something that they cannot find at home. So they look for it outside. And most of the time, what you find outside is not the genuine and it's not the right one. Although it looks genuine, but it causes pain. One of those things. Another one is being secured in identity. Our home, you are secured in who you are. Nothing shifts, nothing changes. When the Bible said that they shall live in peace and nothing shall make them afraid, meaning that when you're secured in who you are, nothing can shift you. I always use this example. If you're not sure of what you have, you will lose it. If you're not sure of who you are, when you go outside, people are going to tell you who you are. And I'm always wrong sometimes. Most of the time it's always wrong. Because you're always going to live according to what they tell you. And most of the time it's not the right picture of who you are. But at home, your parents, you live from there because that is who your parents say you are, and you live through that. That when you go outside, no matter what they tell you outside, nothing's going to change it. Because at home, you've been assured of who you are. Your identity is secured. The reason why we have some confusion outside there is because people are not sure who they are. And that is why you're always crazy about, you know what I'm talking about. What is the danger of this stupid thing about binary and gender X and I'm not a man, I'm not a woman. This or one of the guys I used to work with in this pronoun said is them are they. I say, man, what's going on with you? Yeah. So it's like three people in one person. So that means you're confused. If you're as a parent, it's your job to make sure your kids are secured in who they are. I know sometimes growing up, we don't have those things because our parents, probably because of their limited understanding, they don't really know much. So they tell us, they do the best they can for us. That when we go outside, sometimes we're trying to search to discover who we are. No, this should be from home. Our home is where you discover who you are. It's not outside. So home should be a place that we are secured in the love of our parents, in the love that we get from home. Home is a place that we should be secured in who we are. Because who I am today is a result of where I'm coming from, my history, my origin, my grandparents, my parents, what they told me. So I carry that along wherever I go. That if I go out, people don't try to change who I am because I already know who I am. Because in my family, we are secured in that. My surname is what carries me. Because in that, that's our uniqueness. That's where everything about us is built up. So that's number 2. The third one is our home will build structures into our life and into the life of the children as well. There is a passage in the Bible in Jeremiah chapter 35. That's very interesting. That this man called Rechab, he had children, and he gave the children how to live. They taught them how to live lives. And one of the things he told them is that he told them they should not drink wine, and they should not build houses. They kind of get them principle of how to live their life. Now, in that Jeremiah chapter 35, God was trying to prove a lesson to the people of Israel. He sent Jeremiah to the house of this man, said, go to that house and get the children and give them wine to drink. Sometimes God plays kind of those funny games to people. But he knew the answer. So Jeremiah went to their house and brought the kids, and they took them to the temple and set a basin of wine before them and said, drink. But the children said, no, we're not going to drink it because our father said we shouldn't drink wine. Before our father passed away, they told us this and this and this, and that is how we're going to live our life. And Bible says, book of Proverbs says, bring up a child in the way that he should go, that when he's old, he will not forget. So our home is where we build things in our life. Our home is where we build things in children's life. Because if those are not built into them at home, when they go outside, they're going to crumble. So our home, you build resilience in the life of a child. At home, we build how to make a right choice in the children's life. Our home will build how to live a life of purpose in their life. If it's not built in them, when they go outside, they're going to live as other people are living. Because everything happens at home. It's only in this society that I find that people are waiting for people outside to actually influence their children. That is why when a celebrity makes a mistake, they say, he's a role model. No, the parents are the role model of the children, not the celebrity. Because they themselves don't know better. So when they crumble, what happens? The society starts blaming them. Say, you should be this, you should be that, you're a role model. No, they are not. If the children doesn't learn it from home, if we don't learn these things from home, we can't get it from outside. Because if we fail at home, we're going to fail outside. But if we win at home, then we're going to win outside. So when there's a lapse in judgment or lapse in character, everything begins from home. In Nigeria, we say charity begins from home. So everything you learn should come from the home. If the home is not there, nothing is going to work. The Bible said, if the foundation be broken, what will the righteous do? So where would they get the foundation? It's from the home. So that's important. So it doesn't matter, even if I know we coming from different homes. Some of us, our homes were not the best growing up, but we can make a difference. Going forward, we can still get fine. Although I'm coming from this home that is, and I didn't have this and I didn't get this, but now I'm in a different place. So I can actually learn something better. So we're going to bring that now. I'm going to try and bring it home to where we are this point in time. In the book of John chapter 14, verse 23, Christ said that if you love me, you will keep my commandments. He said, and I and the Father will come in and make what? And make a home in you. So the home that we have now, although our natural home, in God we have peace. In a new home in God, because God is in us and He has made His dwelling place in us, then His peace is there. He said that by peace I give you, not as the world gives. He said, let not your heart be troubled, neither be afraid. And that's something for you, for a man that has worked with people for 3.5 years, and at the point of his going, he has told him all the things that's going to happen to him. But say, my peace I live with you. They were like, yeah, thank you, Jesus. I mean, you're dying. You've been with us for 3.5 years. Nothing, we don't know anything anymore. And now you want to go. It's your peace. But He said, my peace I give you. So His peace is with us because He is in us. I believe in the book of Jeremiah, He said He has made we have a covenant of peace with Him. It's like we have a covenant of peace with God. So if God is in us, if God is our home, if God has made His dwelling place in us, then why are we living like as if that God is not there? Why are we searching for peace in things that does not bring peace? Security. We are secured in God's love. The love of God for you and I is not based upon what you do or what I do. Our relationship with God, hear this, is not based upon how much you love Him. No, it's not. But it's based on how much He loves you. So that should take a weight off your shoulder and my shoulder. That we're not doing anything to earn His love. We already have it.
Amen.
But we are told in churches that if you love God, you need to do this. If you love God, you need to do that. No, so we're not trying to equate the love of God with servitude. But it shouldn't be, because He has loved us with an everlasting love. The Bible said that while we are yet sinners, He died for us. Remember, He has made His home in us. So we are secured in His love. So even though somebody is trying to give you something inferior out there, don't accept it. And the devil is still using the same trick that he used in Genesis chapter 3. He's still using it up to this point by giving us the inferior thing, so they can let go of the good thing that we have and take his inferior thing that's trying to give us. In the book of Genesis chapter 3, the Bible said the devil came into one of his serpent, and he came to Eve. He said, did God say you should not eat of the tree in the garden? Eve, out of her limited understanding, said, God said, no, that's not true. God said we can eat of everything in this garden. For that tree, we should neither eat it nor touch it, lest we die. And the devil said, no, you shall not really die. Because God knew that the day you shall eat of that tree, you shall become like him. But if Eve was wise enough, he could have said, no, we're already like God already, so I don't need to be like him anymore. Because in the book of Genesis chapter 1:20, it says, let us make man in our own image and after our likeness. They were already in the image and in the likeness of God. So you were trying to give them something inferior, and they lost it. So they lost their place in him. So we are secured in his love. Another, we are secured in our identity in him. Because he has made us in his image and after his likeness. So nothingness, there's nothing that can be added to it and take away from it. We are complete. The Bible says we are complete in him. So you are complete in God. Everything about you is complete. God has finished his best work in you, and nothing is lacking. So let nobody convince you otherwise. For you and I to start chasing shadows. We are already in his image. We are already in his likeness. Everything says you are a royal priesthood, a holy nation. You are called to show forth his glory. In Ephesians, it says we are adopted to be sons and daughters to him before the foundation of the earth. We are adopted in him already. We are complete in him. There is nothing missing. But the devil will make us believe that something is missing. The word is going to tell us that something is missing. But if we know this, that we are complete in God. That's what Paul said. He talked to all foolish Galatians, who has bewitched you. He said, my children, that I travail in bed until Christ be formed in you. So the greatest job for us is to make sure that we line ourselves up in that this is who God has made me. It's not the physical one, but the one inside. The spirit is exactly like God. There's nothing. Because when we talk about the image of God, it's not the physical and it's not the mental one, it's the spirit man. And that one is complete and is whole. That nothing else needs to be added to it. You are secured. We are secured. We should be secured in his love. That's why in the book of Psalm 27 verse 4, David said, it's a one thing about desire of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in his house and inquire in his temple, because in his presence there is fullness of joy, and on his right hand there are pleasures forevermore. So our home we're talking about is talking about the presence of God that we carry 24/7. I know sometimes I feel like God is far away from us, but he's there. It's not about feeling. It's not. God said he will never leave you nor forsake you. Even when we make the wrong choice in our lives and go places he doesn't want us to go, he's still there with us. But sometimes we live like orphans. Sometimes we live and we act as if we don't have a God on us, with us. I know a lot of people are scared with the way things are happening, the economy, everything's going up. As a child of God, you shouldn't be scared. Because the Bible said that the cattle on 1,000 hills belongs to God. He said, if I was hungry, will I tell you? He said, everything is mine and I'm giving it to you. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't be wise, but what I'm saying is that we shouldn't be scared like the people that doesn't know God. We shouldn't. We should have that boldness and confidence. A lot of people are panicking. But that shouldn't be you and I. We should be secured in him. Our identity is secured in, and we should be secured in his love. The Bible says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only son. In the book of Romans chapter 8, it said, nothing can separate you and I from his love. He listed tons of things that can come in between. But he said, no, in all these things, you and I, we are more than conquerors through Christ. Therefore, I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor height, nor depth, nor angels, nor things present, nor things to come shall separate you and I from his love. We are secure. Remember, we talked about home, sweet home. Our home is in him. He has come to make his dwelling place in us. So we carry. So if we have this in us, then why are we not sick? Why are we not? How will I say this? Why are we not laughing more? Why are we not walking in? Why are we walking our head low? Why? Why are we not saying that? Let the economy, let them say what they want to say. God will make always provide for his own. And history will always provide for his own. It's like this. An ambassador in a foreign country, even if the country is in lack, that ambassador will have enough to eat. I grew up in Nigeria, there was a Catholic church, that was where I grew up. The priest always has food. the priest always has good food. Not just food, but they have good food. So we had a friend that lives with the priest. So every Saturday we just go to his house so we can enjoy good food. So that when we go back home, we don't care what's at home. So the same thing with an ambassador of a country. No matter how the country they sent to is perishing or is languishing, that ambassador is secured because his source of income is not tied to that country where he was sent, but tied to the country that sent him. And Bible says that you and I, we are citizens of heaven. And this earth, we are ambassadors here. So how come we are living as if this is our home? You and I were an ambassador here. I remember one time this is my early days in Christianity. I lived in Nigeria. And where I live, it's not like here that's posh. No, we live like, it's a massive house with rooms. And the rooms, like, you have different people living there. And then whenever there's an outbreak of sickness, everybody catches it. And then I think I was there's an outbreak of chickenpox. Everyone was panicking. I thought I'm not going to catch it. My sister was like, what do you mean you're not going to catch it? Because I'm an ambassador here. I can't catch it. I'm not affected by the things here. And they thought I was weird. But that is the truth. You can live like that. Even in this day and age, we can live to say that we are not affected by the economy of this country. We are not affected by the things that happen in this nation. If we know that truth and we live by in that reality, then people will come to you and say, show me who your God. But because we live like them, they can't see the difference. Although you serve God, but there's no difference between you and them. What they suffer, you suffer. What they go through, you go through. What they cry about, you cry about those things. What is different? What are you going to tell me about your God then? If your God is that rich and powerful, how come you're suffering like me? I'm not saying there won't be trial. There will be. I'm not saying that this will not come against. It will come against us. But we have God on our side. God has come to make his dwelling place in us. So let's live through that reality. Another one is building structure. In us, by his Spirit, he has built those things in us. The Bible says in the book of Galatians chapter 5, when he made the contrast between the fruit of the Spirit and the fruit of the flesh, he said the fruit of the Spirit are this: love, joy, peace, long-suffering, temperance, meekness, joy, faith, and all those ones. You know them already. So if this is you by his Spirit, how come they are lacking? Won't live as if they are lacking, they will not have them. It's already in you. It's already inside of you and I. We carry this because God by his Spirit has made his home in us. And when the Spirit, I think we are more, when it comes to the Spirit, we focus on one aspect of it without enjoying everything that he's giving us. There is more to the Spirit than speaking in tongues, I would say. There is more to him. So we need to just develop these things. They are in us already. It's not something we have to fast and pray to one day together. No, they are there already. I'm going to use this example. As a parent, your children does not have to fast and pray before you can provide for them. If you're doing that, the social status is going to they're going to come take your kids away from you. If your kids have to fast and pray before you can give them good things, then the council is going to come and take your kids from you, because that's an abuse and neglect. So as a parent, you love your kids so much that you make sure you work to provide good for them. No matter how small it is, you provide for them. Imagine God. Why do we make God a liar? Why do we make that God is, why would we live as that God is not a good God? He is good.
Yeah.
And he's not wicked. So in him, we have the structures built in us. The ability to make right choices is already inside of us. The ability to live a life of purpose is already inside of us. The ability to live a life that's aligned with God's will is already inside of you and I. Resilience is already inside of you and I. So why don't we live through that? I'm going to stop here now. In Isaiah, it says, say not a confidence to what people say confidence, and neither fear you their fears, but let the God be your God. I read during the time of when COVID was reigning, when COVID was like the 24 news cycle of the day. Even the Christians were so scared to even do anything. I'm like, why? I mean, it's so funny that we read books and we hear testimonies of these people that have lived of old. But it's as if God has changed. But He hasn't. Seriously, it's as if the God we have now is different from the God people like Smith Wigglesworth work with. People of the Commonwealth, the God they had was like as if their God is different from our God. But it's not, it's the same God. It's just that they knew and they walked in that reality and they saw God doing mighty, amazing things as well. So let's live as if God is alive and God is well. Let's live. We have a home. I'm not talking about home in heaven. No, I'm talking about home here. We have God in us here. Let's live through that reality. Let's enjoy His peace. Let's be secured in His love. Let's be secured in who He has made us. Let's live through that, and then the world will come to you for solutions. They will come to you for answers. Bible said that the whole earth, they are groaning and waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. Waiting for you and I. Rishi Sunak has no answer to what's happening to this economy. The government has no clue what's going on. They have no clue. They have no clue what's going on. But we have a God that has an answer. That's the thing. We have a God that has an answer to every question that society will ask us. So let's live through that. Let's live through that. We're still coming to the end of this year. Very soon will be 2023. I want you to decide to live through this reality of who God has made you. And then see what's going to happen. If it's going to be different or not. I want to challenge, I want to encourage you to live through this reality of who God has made you. And I bet you're going to see changes that you've never seen before. Whatever you've experienced so far in God is just a tiny bit. There's still much more that He wants to do. Besides just scratching the surface, there's still more in Him. We're going to share communion, and communion is a wonderful thing. And it's one of those meals that you're going to have at home, and this is home, and this is communion. And the Bible said the night before He was crucified, He took bread,